Right, students, so good morning. Now we are about to start, of course we already started percentages. Yes students, so percentages we already started off and now we continue with that. So you understand the significance of percentages, you understand what is actually percentage and how the percentage concept is so important, because everywhere we use this concept, not just in this particular topic, but in every calculation we come across with these percentages. So without having a command in percentages, you cannot expect to get the perfection in quantitative aptitude. Okay, my dear students, so today we start with some simple percentage calculations, and once it is done, then we can move on to next one. Okay, now here we go. So students, please answer these questions in percentages. Now, some percentage calculations. Now here we go. Come on student, yes. Now we quickly do some calculations, and after having done, then we can move on to next one, right? Number one, question number one. What is 20% of, what is 20% of 140? Come on, come on, come on. What is 20% of 3600? Come on student, yes, go ahead, go ahead. And then, what is 20% of, what is 20% of 52? Come on student, yes, let me see how you are doing this. Now yes, 20% of the given numbers. Come on, yes. So 20% of 140 is obviously 28, because every 10% is 14, therefore 20% is 28, so that is not a very big issue. Now every 10% is 360, so 20% is 720, right? Now every 10% is 5.2, so when 10% is 5.2, 20% is 10.4. I hope yes you are getting it right. Okay, okay. Now we move on to some more questions. So please continue, because I understand that yes you are doing well with this 10 and 20% is not a very big issue. I think you can do this. Right? Shall we move on to next one? Now here we go. Come on student. What is 19% of 140? Come on student. What is 19% of 3600? Come on, come on. What is 19% of 52? Yes, my dear students. Come on, make it fast. So how do you get 19%? Yes, the concept is so simple, because when you are comfortable in 20% and from that you can subtract 1%, you can get 19%. Yeah, make it fast. Yeah, because 19% is not very big issue. So because you already calculated 20%, so when you have 20%, you can subtract 1%. So 1% is nothing but 1.4, hence your answer is 18.6. Isn't it? So you know 20% is 720, and from that you have to subtract 36, 1% 36, and if you subtract 1% you will be getting 684, right? Because 20% is 10.4, and from which you have to subtract 1%. What is 1%? 0.52. Therefore your answer should be 9.88. So 19% is very easy to calculate. So when you are comfortable with the 20%, you can easily get 19%. Student, just I want to give you some example. So yesterday, actually Andhra Pradesh government has conducted around 60,000 of corona cases, and I mean 60,000 of corona test, and yesterday, just talking about yesterday, and we have reported a close to 1200 cases. A close to 1200 cases. For example, yesterday of course we conducted 60,000 tests, and we have reported of course 1300, okay, let it be 1200. Student, may I know that what is the positivity rate? Answer my question. What is the positivity rate? Out of the 60,000 cases they conducted, and it is reported that only 1200 corona cases were identified. May I know what is the percentage, what is the positivity rate? Because out of 60,000 tests, every 1% is 600. every 1% is 600. We have reported 1200 cases, therefore we declare that in Andhra Pradesh positivity rate is around 2%. So 2%. So yes, relatively yes, safe. And we declare that relatively it is absolutely safe. This is what we call is the positivity rate. Student, basing on this calculation, we start taking some decisions. For example, I just want to tell you that. For example, on one given day, for example, if Andhra Pradesh has reported 800 cases for any given day, let us assume that on one particular day, please listen to me, on one particular day, Andhra Pradesh has reported around 800 cases. May I know whether we are in safe zone or not? Come on student, please tell me. Yeah, come on student, yes, let me know, whether we are in safe zone or not. No student, we cannot conclude like that. Just looking at the number of cases, we cannot say that we are in safe zone, because we have to see that how many tests you have conducted. If you don't conduct the test, how we identify the corona cases? You see, corona cases, as far as now present day is concerned, most of the corona cases are asymptomatic, which means to say that there are no symptomatic signs. Almost many of the cases are asymptomatic. You will come to know the cases only if you do test. So having known that we have only 800 cases, never mean to say that we are in safe. We need to say that how many tests are conducted. We can't say that. Just because knowing at the number of cases, we can't say that. For example, on that particular day, if it is given that we have conducted 8,000 tests, and out of the 8,000 tests, we have identified around 800 cases. 8,000 tests, 800 cases, therefore positivity rate is 10%. We are not safe. The reason is the positivity rate is obviously 10%. So what I mean by saying this, you cannot conclude whether we are in safe or not just looking at the number. Looking at the number, you cannot say that we are safe. We have to see how many tests are conducted. For example, on any other given day, for example, 80,000 tests are conducted, and out of 80,000 tests, if you have reported around 800 cases, then we can certainly say that positivity rate is just 1%. Yes, we are absolutely safe. 1-2%, yes, we can say that yes, we are safe. Anything around 5%, we need to be alert. If it is 10%, we are absolutely unsafe. Student, yes, I hope that you are getting it right. That is the significance of percentages. If we don't know the calculation part, we will never be able to conclude whether we are going in the right direction or not. You understand that, my dear students? Right. That is the reason why percentages plays a very crucial role in decision making. You understand my point? Okay? Right. Okay, my dear students. So this is all about percentages. Now, yes, somebody asked me to explain, sir, how to calculate 19%. Student, if I ask you to find 19% of 4,000, then how you must be doing this? You will be calculating 20%. So what is 20%? 800. Because every 10% is 400, 20% is 800. Okay, and from that you will be subtracting 1%. How much is 1%? 40. And if you subtract 1% from that, you left with 760. That is 40%, I mean 19%. So what is 10% of 8,000? What is the 10% of 8,000? 800. 10% is nothing but 1 by 10. For any given number, we can easily identify 10%. 10% and 1% we can easily identify. Okay. Right, my dear students? So yes, I think yes, we are going in right direction. Yes, I think you require, you need to answer some more questions. Let us see how do you answer these. Come on student, yes, go ahead. What is 25% of, what is 25% of 400? Come on student, yes, please make it fast. What is 25% of 1200? Come on, what is 25% of 48? Do it. So 25% is not a very big issue, man. We can easily calculate. 25% of 400 is 100 because 1 by 4. 400 by 4. 25% is nothing but 1 by 4. So 400 by 4. Next one. And 25% of 1200. Once again 1 by 4, which is 300. And 25% of 48 is 12. Student, are you getting it? 25% means 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 400 by 4, 1200 by 4, 48 by 4. Okay. So now I think yes, you are comfortable with 25%. I believe that. Okay. Right. Now please answer these questions, my dear students. Come on. What is 24% of 400? Come on student, what is 24% of 1200? Come on, what is 24% of 48? Make it fast. Make it fast, make it fast. Student, if you want to get 24%, the simple technique is, you know what is 25% and you subtract 1%. And if you subtract 1%, you get 96. 1% of 400 is 4, and from 25% if you subtract 1%, yes, you will get your answer. That is a good going. Come on student, 25% is 300 because we already know this, and from that you subtract 1% which is 12, therefore your answer is 288. Come on, 25% is already you know which is 12, and you have to subtract 1%. What is 1%? 0.48. Therefore answer 11.52. So this about some more calculations. Student, as far as percentage calculations are concerned, I just want to say that you won't get the perfection in 1 or 2 days. It is a long term process. At least if you start doing like this for some time, at least for 5 days or 6 days, slowly you will be getting it. But once you are good at percentage calculation, see how confident you can handle this topic. Okay? Right, man? So this is about percentage calculation for today, and we discuss some more questions, and before that we answer another, some quants questions. Here we go. This one we already handled, this, and these questions are already handled. I don't think that I need to repeat anything like. Now please look at the question. Come on student, here we go. Read the question, man. Rohit spends 40% of his salary on food. 40% of his salary on food, and 20% of his salary on house rent, and 10% on entertainment, and 10% on conveyance. Tell me student, 40%, 20%, 10% and 10. 40, 20, 10 and 10. Then we can understand that yes, it is easily understood that it is understandable that 80% he is anyways spending it off. Now we can take it granted that he must be saving 20% of his salary, isn't it? And that particular 20% of saving is nothing but 1500. So when 20% is 1500, then 100% is how much? Because you understand that. You know why did I add it up? Student, do you understand what I am doing, man? What I am doing? So tell me what I did. So first he spent 40% on food, salary on food, 20% on house rent, 10% on entertainment, 10% on conveyance, which I mean to say that he has spent 80% of salary on different heads. When he spent 80% on different heads, obviously how much he must be left with? Only 20%. So that particular 20% is nothing but 1500. So when 20% is equal to 1500, what is his salary? Therefore, what is 100%? So 100% is 7500. Now I think we can move on to next question. Student, is it clear to you? I don't think there is any confusion in this question, please. Please respond to my question. Am I clear to you? Is this okay for you? Student, don't send the messages repeatedly. Don't send the messages repeatedly. I can see that some of you are sending the same message again and again. Don't do that, okay? Yeah. Right. Okay, man. Now I think we can move on to next question, because as you say that this is okay for you, probably yes, another question definitely will help you to understand this particular method once again. Now here we go. Come on student, please look at the question and then answer. Student, please look at the question, man, before you conclude something, but you have to read the question seriously. A man invested 20% of salary in post office and 10% of the remaining in bank. Probably I thought that you must be adding 20% and 10%, which is 30%. If he spent 30%, probably you must be doing something like this. He must be saving 70%. 70% is 14,400, and therefore how much is 100%? Student, are you doing something like this? But the reason is, this is not same as the previous question. You have to understand that, because he is spending 20% of salary in post office and 10% of the remaining. So it is not 10% of the total salary, but it is 10% of the remaining. You understand my point? Which means to say that first he is spending off 20%, and from the remaining he is spending 10%. It is not the previous one. So whenever this kind of question is given, we should answer the question something like this. In this question, let us assume that the total salary of the man is X rupees. Okay, after investing 20%, how much he left with? 80%. Student, do you understand that? This is the remaining salary after spending 20% in post office, after investing 20% in post office. Out of the remaining, he is spending 10% in bank. So he left with 90%, and that amount is equal to 14,400. Okay, man? That is equal to 14,400. You understand that? Therefore, how much is 100? I mean X. Therefore, now you cancel, you will get your answer. So 18 to 9, 72, 72 cancels for 200 times. Therefore, X is equal to 200 into 100, and your answer should be 20,000. So probably you might have done this question just like the previous one. So please be careful that every question is unique. You need to read the question thoroughly before you get your answer. Yeah, I can see the messages. Send your message, send your answer. Okay, man? So I think yes, we are going very strong. So I don't think there is any confusion. I want to make some changes in the question, man. You need to answer. Okay? So please, this is the change. Come on, student. So I made two changes in the question. Now it is you to respond to this question. Quick. Student, probably you must be doing the question something like this. A man invested 20% of salary in post office and 10% in bank. You can take it granted that he is spending 30% of his total salary, 20 plus 10, 30%. After spending 30%, he left with 70%, and that 70% is equal to 21,000, and hence 100% is equal to how much? So 100 into 21,000 divided by 70. Come on student, do the necessary cancellations, and now you left with 30,000. That should be the correct answer. So I think I just want to give some changes in the question. Now please be ready. So let us see how you answer this. Come on student, yeah, here we go. In place of 20%, you take 50%. Okay, and now in place of 14,400, you take 9,000. Answer the same question again. Read the question thoroughly, man. Read the question thoroughly. Before you answer, read the question thoroughly. See, a man invests 50% of his salary in post office and 10% of the remaining. You have the word of remaining. Come on students, so whenever you are given the particular word of remaining, so you need to answer the question something like this. Let the total salary of the man is X rupees and he invested 50% in post office. After investing 50%, he left with 50%. Okay, now he left with 50%, and from that he is again spending 10% in bank. So after spending 10%, he must be left with 90%, and that remaining amount is equal to 9,000. After spending like that, you can see that he left with this much of amount. Therefore, come on student, do the necessary cancellation. You will be getting your answer, and this cancels for 1,000. Therefore, again this cancels for 20. Therefore, X is equal to 20 into this is 1,000. 20 into 1,000. Therefore, your answer must be 20,000. Do you understand why did I take X? Do you understand the very reason of taking X? Because it is the remaining. So whenever the word of remaining is given, you should be able to answer the question like that. I hope that you are getting the point right, but still you must be having some doubts, right? Never mind, I want to make some changes. So this time let us see whether you are able to do this question or not. Come on student, in place of 20%, in place of 10%, I mean in the second case, you please take 40%. You please take 40%. Okay, and in place of this amount, you take 6,000. Answer the same question again. I am waiting for your answer. Come on. Yes? A man invested 20% of salary in post office. First he invested 20% in post office from the remaining. From the remaining. So whatever the amount he is having from the remaining. Okay? So whenever this kind of question is given, let the total salary be X. Okay? First he invested 20% in post office. After investing 20%, tell me how much he left with? What is this, my dear students? This is the remaining salary after spending 20% in post office, and from this he spends 40%, which means he left with 60%. That remaining amount is equal to 6,000. Come on student, yes, you can easily do this question. 1, everything is under control. So this is 4 times, this is 5 times, and 4 cancels. Yeah, you can take 25 and you can cancel this. Therefore, X is equal to, student, yeah, just look at that. I made 2 changes. This I gave you 40%, and in place of this I gave you 6,000. Okay, now just look at that. So when the total salary was taken X, after spending 20%, he left with 80%. Yeah. After spending 40%, he left with 60%. So the remaining amount is given 6,000 rupees. Now you can do the necessary cancellation, you will get your answer 0, 0. 6 cancels for one time. So 24 times, 25 times, and 4 cancels for 25 times. Therefore, x is equal to 5 into 25, 125. How many zeros you left with? 2 zeros. But I think yes, now I think we are comfortable. Probably this time yes, we can go on to next model, man. Ready? Now yes, because this model is okay for you. Now please look at this model. Come on student, look at the question. What you are given? The price of a TV set is decreased by 25%, and as a result of which the sale increased by 20%. Usually happens. Student, what actually the companies does, if you take the cell phones, you have iPhone 6, you have iPhone 7, iPhone 8, now we are into 13, so it is 13th model. So whenever a new product is usually launched, you can see whenever a new product is launched, so what companies usually do? They reduce the prices of the previous only to increase its sale. Now I think because when i13 is available in the market, people usually never prefer to buy i12 because 13 is already available. Therefore, it is a loss for the company. So if all the stock is with the company, it is a big loss. Then what the companies do in that such scenario? They usually sell the stock by giving a discount. So obviously when the discount is offered on this particular product, we can expect the sale obviously increases, isn't it? So that is usually it is the tactics the companies student, whatever the topics we are actually discussing are absolutely useful for your daily routine, and you make use of this concept in every part of your life. Therefore, please listen and try to adopt this model. Unless you adopt, you will never be able to get it perfect. Right? I think yes, I am okay for you. Come on student. So you are talking about the revenue. Tell me student, you know what is the meaning of a revenue? Revenue means collection. So what amount the company is getting is said to be revenue. You understand that? How the companies increase their revenue? There are two ways. So revenue depends on, student, just look at that. Revenue depends on sale and the price. More the sale, more the revenue. More the price, more the revenue. So to enhance the revenue, companies will do two things. Either they increase their prices or increase their sale. They can get the revenue by doing that. Student, now we see two important things in this question. Now yes, TV set price decreases by 20% and sale increases by 20%. Yeah. Okay students, so let the original revenue be 100. Let the original revenue be 100. Point number 1, TV price reduces by 25%. You understand why did I take 75%? Price reduces by 25%. Okay, and now the sale increased by 20%. Sale increased by 20%. Could you say that? Price decreases, at the same time sale increases. Come on student, after having these two, let us see what is the change. 100 get cancelled, 25 3 times, 25 4 times, 4 cancels for 30 times, 3 into 30 90. We started revenue with 100. We can see that it comes down to 90. Therefore, revenue decreases by 10%. So company thought of improving the sale, but the problem is the sale is not improved. So 25% decrease in the sales seem to be having no effect. I hope you understand, my dear students. Student, do you understand that? So this is the question. So whenever this kind of question is given, we have to take revenue as 100 because we are doing the question in percentages. So this is because of the price decreases by 25%. This, the sale increases by 20%. Okay, man? Comfortable? Student? Okay, man. So I just want to give some changes in the question. Let us see how you respond to this one. Yeah, students. So let us assume that in place of 25% you take 30%. In place of 20% you take 10%. Answer the same question again. Come on, student, please answer the same question again. As I told you that revenue depends on two things, man. Revenue depends on two things. One is depending on the sale and depending on the price. So when there are changes in both, then obviously there would be changes on revenue for sure. In such case, we take revenue as 100 because it is in percentage, we can take any number. Decreases by 30%, decreases by 30%. So 70% is so taken because price decreases by 30%. And now sale increases by 10%, sale increases by 10%. You understand why 110? Sale increases. So after having these two changes, let us see 7 into 11, 77. So the revenue which we thought of 100 becomes 77. Therefore we can see revenue decreases by 23%. You can answer one more question of the same model. Maybe a little bit of change would definitely be there. Okay. Now let me give you the next question. Now please respond to this. The length of a rectangle is increased by 30% and its breadth decreased by 10%. What is the percentage change in the area of the rectangle? Student, please note down that area of rectangle depends on two things. One is length and then it is breadth. Area of the rectangle depends on length and breadth. Come on, do it. You can see the changes in length as well as breadth. Yeah, why the decrease? Only to increase the sale. They decrease the prices only to increase the sale. Because if you see, if I-12 price is not decreased, people usually never prefer to buy I-12 because they go for I-13. Yeah. Come on, student, yeah. Come on, you can take area as 100 and then you start doing the question. Because the question is so simple, you can easily handle this. Come on, make it fast. So in this question, if we take area as 100, come on, student. Length increases by 30%, length increases by 30%. So 130 by 100, length increases by 30%. And we can see that breadth decreases by 10%. You understand why did I take 90? Decreases by 10%. Tell me, student, after having these two changes, how much we left? 13 into 9, 117. So we thought of taking area 100, it becomes 17. So area increases by 17%. I hope you understand this. Now we discuss one more question. I think this time you get it more perfect. Come on, student, do it. Do it. Expenditure. Expenditure depends on price and consumption. Expenditure depends on price and consumption. If you want to consume quality item, you need to expend more, and if you want to consume more item, you understand the consumption price. How many kgs you consume, what is the price of rice? Depends on expenditure. I mean that decides expenditure. Student, yeah, whenever this kind of questions are given, we can start expenditure as 100. We can start with this. Price increased by 20%. price increased by 20%. You know, why did I multiply by 120? Because increases by 20%. And sale decreased by 20%. You understand why 80% decreased by 20%. After having these two changes, it comes down to 96. So 100 becomes 96. We can expect that revenue decreases by 4%. Okay, man? Come on, student, please look at the board. Let me give you some interesting point in this. I think now this is okay for you. This question we can answer even easy. How you know? Increased by 20%, decreased by 20%. Whenever percentage increase and percentage decrease are same, you will find only loss in the transaction. Tell me, what is the loss in the transaction? 4% loss. Of course, the previous method is also okay, but if percentage increase and percentage decrease are same, we can answer the question even in easy way. Okay, this is a very comfortable technique. Student, I hope you understand that. Please write down an important note. Please write down an important note. Please write down. Come on, student. If the percentage increase, if the percentage increase and percentage decrease are same, percentage increase and percentage decrease are same, then there is always loss. Then there is always loss in the whole transaction. In the whole transaction. Okay, man? The net loss percent is equal to, the net loss percent is equal to percentage increase into percentage decrease by 100. Percentage increase into percentage decrease by 100. So when the percentage increase, yeah, exactly. We can do this for every model where there is a similar change. When increase and decrease are same, we can do this like. Okay, student? I think yes, there is no confusion. I hope that yes, you are getting the point so good. Okay? I believe that we can answer this question, we can use this method to answer this particular question. Come on, read the question. What you are given? A number first decreased by 10% and then it increased by 10%. Student, as I told you that when percentage decrease and percentage increase are same, then there is always loss. The net loss percent is equal to 1%. You understand that? This is loss. And this particular 1% is given 20. The resulting number is less than the original number by 20. Actually, we lost 1%, which is 20. So, when 1% is 20, what is the original number? What is 100%? And hence, we declare the number 2000. I hope you understand this. So, when 1% is 20, and we can calculate what is the number. So you get into your college, so try to learn, because this is a compulsory topic. You need to understand this. You have to get the command of this. Okay? Okay, man? So I think yes, we are going in the right direction. Right. Okay, student, I will repeat this once again, no problem. So for today we just close the program, and tomorrow we discuss the same questions again, and then I will move on to next one. Okay, right students? So thank you. We will meet again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Bye.